In this video, I will show you how you can learn to read books if you don't have the habit of reading, or you have only ever read books which you were forced to by your schools. And by the end of this video, I will give you a few suggestions on books with which you can start your reading journey. So let's get started. So tip number one, have a purpose. Maybe you want to get started with reading books because your friends might be forcing you to, or maybe you think you don't have knowledge about a certain subject and you want to know more about it, or maybe you just want an activity which can help you relax. It is important to establish a purpose beforehand, so you don't start reading books which are complicated, which will demotivate you from the beginning and will stop you from building this habit of reading. When you have a purpose, it will be easy for you to skim out books which will provide the most value to you and will help you with reading more books. And the more books you read, the more skilled you get at reading books, and this will lead you to eventually understanding more complicated books. Tip number 2, set a goal of reading 10 pages daily. If you have never touched a book in your life, it can feel intimidating to start reading long novels or non-fiction books. So just starting with a goal of reading 10 pages a day will not feel as challenging. And if you make this a part of your routine, then reading will soon become a habit for you. Just keep in mind that you will feel a little resistance in the beginning because similar to other skills, learning how to read will be a foreign skill to you. But you have to keep at it because soon it will become second nature and you will have way more fun with it. Tip number 3, read books with illustrations or pictures in them. So before I started reading books, I always thought, how can people read paragraphs upon paragraphs of text without any pictures in them? And this held me back for a long time. Then one day I saw my friends reading A Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and this book had cartoons in them, which really interested me. So I bought this book and started reading it, and I really liked it, so I started reading more and more. But by this time I had gotten the hang of reading more and more texts, so I got my first book with no pictures in them and found that it was a really fun way to pass my time, and that my skills had improved. So if you're facing the same thing and think that just reading plain old text is boring, then just get some kids books with illustrations in them, and this will help you out a lot. You can even give comic books a try. Tip number 4, don't finish books you don't like. This is a pretty straightforward tip. If you are not liking what you read, then there is no point in continuing reading. There are a lot of pretty great books out there which you will actually enjoy and get more out of. Well written books are written in a way where they will hold your attention, and if they are unable to do so, they're not that well written, or maybe you haven't developed your skill of reading enough to understand those books. So stop reading books you don't like and opt for other books which you actually enjoy reading. Tip number 5, don't start your reading journey with audiobooks or ebooks. Books are best read in the traditional paperback form. When you physically hold a copy of book and start reading, you are forcing yourself to concentrate on the matter at hand, and your mind needs to focus on understanding the text. The same doesn't happen with audiobooks or ebooks. When you use audiobooks, your mind tends to wander out onto other things, and you're not able to get a lot of the information out of a book. Same goes for ebooks. When we read something on a screen, our eyes skim through the text and you don't take your time to read each word of the text, and you might miss out on the details of the book. So if you have just started reading, then start with the traditional paperback books. Then when you have developed your skills enough and maybe you are not getting enough time to read books, then you can opt for audiobooks or ebooks. Now to end this video, I will tell you about a few books which are great for beginners. So if you want books with illustrations in them, you can check out Diary of a Wimpy Kid. The story is okayish, but the illustrations will be a big help for you and will prepare you for reading good novels with a good storyline. Then you can read the Harry Potter series. These books are easy to understand and have a really great story, so you won't be bored with them. Then you can read The Killing Commentator by Haruki Murakami. His writing is easy to understand and I bet you would have never read anything like it. So you can give these books a try. If you want any more suggestions, then you can just comment down below or just DM me and I'll answer you. I've put my Insta ID in the description box below. So that's it for today's video, and see you next time.